Okay, this is a really good exercise for those of you who have back pain when you bend backwards and have a disc bulge. So I'm going to show you what to do, and I'm going to use Claire today. Now, people who have pain when they bend backwards and standing to try and reduce disc pressures and problems with sitting sometimes have trouble doing it standing because they're sore. Now, if you show me, Claire, show everyone extension. So normally when people go backwards, if you go backwards for me, they get to about sort of there and it hurts, okay? Now that could be a mixture of things. It could be because they've still got a disc bulge, it could be that it's sore, it could be that the muscles are going into spasm, it could be that they're tight, it could be a movement pattern problem. So to help improve that movement, to try and reduce disc pressure and reduce back pain for people who are sitting and have got a current disc bulge, I like getting people doing extension against a bench or a bed. So today I want to show you this one. So we're going to move this bed up so it's at hip height. Now when you're at home, you can use a kitchen bench top like an island bench or something like that that's solid, that's not going to move, that you can lean on. And the reason we do this is it tricks your brain a bit. So Claire, if you just back onto that. So when she leans on that, she's got the confidence that she's not going to fall over. Whereas when she's standing, she feels she's going to fall over, the back might kick in a bit of spasm and stop them, and they feel like, oh, that hurts. But it's actually the back spasming up to stop her falling over. Now, if she's got something like this, you're less likely to be guarded when you extend. Now, the other trick I get people doing is widening their feet. So a wider base, a stable base like that, again, tricks your brain a little bit. You believe that you're more stable, you're less worried about it, and so you're more confident. Now, already in this position, she's going to be a little bit less guarding and spasm in her back to be able to extend, which is great. Now, before she extends, what I get people doing, if you put your thumbs on the PSIS. Now the PSIS meaning the two big bony points in the back of her sacrum there, that's a good reference point to put your thumbs because it sort of tells you, I'm going to bend from there upwards in that lower spine, okay? So I don't really want too much hip extension. There's going to be a little bit, but I want her to focus on actually bending her back. So giving her a reference point of hands on the lower back and find the two bony points is a really good way of doing it. So before she even thinks about leaning backwards, she's got to switch on her core, because the whole part of this thing, yes, we're trying to get extension and bend backwards, but I want her doing it functionally. I want muscles helping her do the work, okay? So it's different than the passive extension when you're on your front, the classic McKenzie passive extension to try and reduce disc pressure. That's when you're in the acute phase. This is down the track a little bit when people have problems trying to extend when they're bending backwards, or you know, they can only do it during the day standing up. They can't get on the floor. So you need muscles on here to help you with working muscles here, sort of co-contraction, but also stopping the muscle spasming. When you get more anterior abdominals and side abdominals working, you're going to get less spasm in the back. So she needs to turn on her core. She needs to hold her pelvic floor on. She needs to tighten through her rectus abdominis and her obliques through here. Get that little bit of tension, not too much, a little bit of tension there, because she's going to use that eccentrically when she goes backwards. So, Claire, if you try and keep that on, I want you to lean on the bed, trust the bed, and slowly bend backwards. Now as she goes, she's got to keep this on. She's holding this on in her tummy to guide her backwards. And she just goes back as far as she's confident. And then when she comes forward, she needs to use the tummy to pull her forward again. Okay, that felt all right? Making sure they don't hold their breath, right? So every time she goes backwards, she gets more confident and she'll be able to go backwards further and further and further. So you go again for me, holding on the front. Okay, so holding all your abdominals in the front, and that will actually activate muscles in the back. So what she's going to do, instead of standing and then going back and hinging and jamming, she's going to have almost like a guided extension. So the muscles in her lower back are switching on and actually helping the extension movement. Whereas before she might just be sort of spazzing and jamming and just crunching down, which is not going to go anywhere. Whereas this way, you're going to get a better movement pattern, and the more you do, the more extension you get, the more stretch you get, the more motor pattern reinforcement you get. So you actually improve your fear avoidance of going backwards, and you improve your pain. Okay, so there's a lot of facets for this this exercise does to help improve your back pain problem when you have a disc bulge. So this is a really good way of doing it. if you notice, go back again, she gets way more loaded, controlled extension than she would do in standing, because she'd just fall over. So she's getting better range, she's getting better control, she's learning motor patterns, she's getting rid of that fear avoidance, she's getting strength back there, okay? And it's loaded, so meaning it's more functional than doing the one on your front in the acute phase. She's getting, that gets the same amount of range as the one on the front, but it's more functional for her. And you'll find that there's a better outcome during the day, down the track, than the one on the front. So I suggest try that. If it doesn't work, then don't do it. But for this one, it works for a lot of people to try and improve their extension, improve their back pain, and improve their tolerance to sitting. See you next time.